So hello my friends. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys in one simple tool how to further fix and remove blemishes. In today's video, we're going to be hitting it with the Blemish Removal Tool in Affinity Photo. So the photo that you see on screen is a photo I took about a month ago. This is our model Sierra. I'm in the process of kind of retouching and editing this image right now. But I kind of figured I'd show you guys one more tool to add to your arsenal, to add to your tool belt, on how you can actually further kind of fix and clarify and tone up and just perfect skin in one easy, simple way. So today, like I said, we're going to be using the Blemish Removal Tool. This is a TIFF image. I recorded a video recently on how to import TIFF images into Affinity Photo. So refer to that video if you don't know how to actually import TIFF images into Affinity Photo. But long story short, I am using the iPad Pro 10.5 inch Apple Pencil right here. Images already imported. I already started kind of working on it. So what you're going to need is to import the image into Affinity Photo. From there, this technique is going to be done using the frequency separation tool, which is a filter right here in the filters tab. I will do a future video on how to actually best practices with using frequency separation. But long story short, I set this originally just at the default settings, which is 2 radius, threshold of 50%, and then I just hit apply. So once you do that, you're going to get a high frequency and you're going to get a low frequency. These two layers right here that I'm tapping on screen. What you're going to be doing is not touching this high frequency layer. You're just going to specifically go down to the original. And then you're going to use the Blemish Removal Tool, which is over here in the this tool, this cloning and healing selection, blemish removal, and we're just going to be adjusting the width down here from 50 to 75 pixels. I do want to say as a caveat, before you get to this point, I would definitely refer you back over to using the inpainting tool, the spot healing brush, the healing brush, because it's important that you remove all the really big blemishes before you actually go over and you do frequency separation and then you use this specific tool. So check out that video if you haven't on how to use the inpainting tool, because you definitely want to make sure that you hit a lot of those things. So I want to show you guys just kind of the before and after of what we're going to be doing, because for whatever reason I didn't do that earlier, so let's do that right now. So I'm just going to kind of just change the blend mode here, or the opacity. Ignore the difference in color. We're going to be specifically working on getting rid of some of those blemishes there. I will just do a bigger one so you can see the immediacy of the changes. But that's what the Blemish Removal Tool is really good at. It's really good at removing those kind of spottiness in terms of color and tone. It's not really super great at removing texture. That's part of the reason why it's better to use the inpainting tool, as mentioned previously. So it's definitely better to remove texture in those ways and then use this tool. But once you do that, then this is what the Blemish Removal Tool is it does amazingly well at. So what you're going to do is on your original background layer right here, go over into your brushes panel, blemish removal, and I'm going to just start right now with the width at 50%. So what we're going to do, I'm going to keep the zoom level to about right here so you can see the greater picture, the greater face, and then all you're going to do is literally, just like with all tools, you're just going to kind of tap away. The blemish removal tool is definitely a tool that you're going to have to, it comes with experience. It's one of those things where I can't give you all of the specific nuances with using it. You just kind of have to use it and experiment with it to basically see how it works based on how you use it specifically. But basically you're just going to tap and then just change the radius, like I had mentioned, between 50 to 75 pixels is how I personally use it. You may use it a little bit differently, but that's kind of what I've done myself as I've been using it over the last year roughly. And then you're just going to tap away. So the part of the reason why I'm putting this on the low frequency layer is because I only want it to fix the tone. I don't want it to change the texture. That's part of the main reason why I'm using frequency separation, because I've already tackled the texture stuff with the inpainting and the patch tool. That's how I tackled all that stuff already. So there's no reason for it to do texture as well. And then we're just going to kind of just make it a little bit bigger and just even out this a little bit there, hit that a little bit. Let's see what it can do right here. And it's getting a little weird, so we're just going to hit right there. Yeah, that looks fantastic. I like that. Where else? It's kind of weird over here. Can I get that a little bit better? Uh, hmm. Yeah, like I said, it's one of those tools you just kind of have to tap away. I will kind of give you a rundown of what the blemish removal tool is doing. It kind of functions the same way as the in painting brush, and the spot healing tool in Photoshop. In that you're when you set the width, it's gonna basically, as soon as you tap that width from the center point of where you tap, it's going to analyze all the surrounding pixels, and it's going to basically do an algorithm to blend that area relative to the rest of the pixels in color, texture, and tone. Since I'm using on the low frequency layer, it's just going to be color and a tone. It's not going to be any texture because there's no texture. It's all blurred on this layer. But that's literally what it's doing. And then yeah, you just kind of just tap away at it, and that's pretty much it. It kind of got a little bit weird over here, and I'm not sure if it's going to be able to fix that. And then my iPad's going to be a little bit laggy because I'm also recording a video. But yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to fix that. I should have undone that before. Didn't really notice that, honestly. But moving on, this isn't the final edit, so I'm not really going to cry myself to sleep tonight about that. And we'll just hit the neck a little bit. As with all of these healing type tools, these sample selection tools is really what they're going to be classified as. They're not good with edges, so if you're going to start putting this up to an edge, it's not going to be good. Just like with the end painting tool, just like the spot healing tool, just like the clone brush, all of these tools are not good when it comes to edges. Granted, you can kind of finagle the clone brush specifically to make it pretty good in edges, but it does take a little bit of finagling to get to that point. By default, it's not really good at edges either. So okay, we'll see how far we got. Ignore this little area up here. That was my bad. I wasn't paying attention when we got that far. So right there, boom. That's how far we got. So I'm gonna just undo. I'm gonna just use the history selection tool to kind of go back and forth, because I didn't actually do this on the right layer. So my bad there, guys. But you can, let me zoom in a little bit more. You guys can see the before and after. So that's the after. This is the before. It's not going to be as sudden because I don't have the amount of undo history states all the way back to where we first started. That was my bad. I was doing that on the wrong layer. But nonetheless, you guys can see what's possible with the blemish removal tool. And I did showcase how to do that, the full before and after as well, which is just up here. So you guys can see the before and after. It makes a huge difference. And that's just that one simple tool. Granted, this works best when you're using it on the low frequency layer, because it's just fixing color and tone as opposed to texture as well. It does fix texture, but it doesn't work as well in my experience. Granted, depending how you guys use it, it may work well when it comes to texture as well. It depends how you guys are using it. But for me, when it comes to skin smoothing and fixing skin and retouching, I think it's just better left off in the low frequency and just color and tone. So that's pretty much how to use this tool. Like I said before, 50 to 75 pixels is what I've seen works great, especially when you import a TIFF. It works great. You don't really need to change it that much. You only need to change it to 75 if you want it to be a larger area, so it can smooth out a greater area of skin. But outside of that, that's going to wrap up today's video. As always, hit that subscribe button down below. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or you'd like to see something done specifically that we have the skill set to do on our channel, by all means, leave that in the comment as well, and we'll get back to you. Absolutely, we got you, brother. And then, as all my friends, reach out to us on social media if you want to get in touch with us, or you have any feedback and comments. We look at every single message that we get. But until next video, guys, peace out.